If you can step away from the noise, kill the lights, and put your headphones on, you'll be doing yourself a huge favor. Let's go. I'm 29 and I work as a rideshare driver on the side. I use both apps, Uber and Lyft, and usually don't have any problems. The riders are generally pretty nice and or quiet, and honestly I enjoy giving rides. Not a lot of money, but enough in between paychecks at my job to be enjoyable to do when I can. However, as I was cruising off from a ride, I get a new request for like $20 to $30. Not uncommon, but sometimes that means it's far as shit. This one was only 45 minutes, so not too bad. Plus, money. So, I'm driving to the pickup pin, and it's at a decently fancy Japanese grill and a kinda run-down dispensary. I park out of the way of traffic and hit arrive. 2 minutes. Nobody. 3 minutes. Someone walks up and she gets to my door. Here's where the scary shit starts. She doesn't immediately open the door. She reaches for the handle, sure, but she then proceeds to lean completely forward against my rear passenger door and laugh. She's laughing into the paint. Then she bends all the way backwards to the point her legs are almost 45 degrees with her torso. She opens the door, and apparently my last rider left something in the back seat, and she stops laughing and starts snickering. I hit her with the, "Hi, are you blah blah blah?" In a creepily cutesy voice, she says, "Yeah, that be me. Someone done dropped a thing in your back seat, Mr. Uberman." I notice and ask to keep it in the front seat with me so I can return it later. Oh damn, guess she must have left it on accident. She stares not at me, but at the rear view mirror and says, "Ain't you gonna call her?" I tell her I'll do it when a request comes in to return it, like I usually do. Now, quick aside to explain the characterization of this woman I've made so far. I'm not going out of my way to be any kind of prejudiced. She legitimately spoke this way, and beyond just a country vernacular, she spoke as if she couldn't read well. As someone who's worked with people with traumatic mental disorders, or people who are severely mentally disturbed, or are neurodivergent as a volunteer, I try my best to not be annoyed in these situations. Anyway, we head off towards her destination pin 45 minutes away. First red flag, because the others so far could just be a rider being weird or drunk. She asked me to stop at a UPS store on our way to her destination. No biggie, right? Here's the issue. She didn't specify where. Just the UPS. And as I opened up Google Maps to find the nearest one, she says, "Oh, you don't have to, but I have to get my friend out of jail. If I don't get this package, he gon' be there overnight." "Oh," I said, not getting what the package had to do with jail, but playing along. "Well, it's just he gon' be there all night. If we don't get him out, he gon' kill somebody. He in jail for killing." When I freak out visibly, but not audibly, she smiles and says, "Oh, we don't have to go there. Let's keep going back on the road. I know you Uber guys gotta make you money." Yeah, Uber drivers don't got a lot money, do they? Weird pivot, but we keep going, and I nervous laugh and say, "Yeah, but I don't mind if you need me to stop." Wrong move. She continues to stare at me from the rear view every time I glance back. We're on the highway before she says anything. "I likes this car. What car this be?" I tell her. "Oh, it's nice. You like it? You like this car?" I nod and say, "Oh, yup, it's a nice car." Then she turns to the empty seat next to her and starts arguing with the air. "No, it's his car. No, I don't think he wants to do that. Stop it." I say, "Everything okay?" "Oh, my friend just say this car is nice." "Oh?" I say. I'm a bit freaked out, but it's whatever. People are weird, and it's not unusual for a grown woman to have imaginary friends. Mr. Uberman, do you think it's okay to steal if you have to? I just shrug and go, I mean, what do you mean? Like, if I was in a local grocery store and wanted bread, I should be able to take it, right? Especially if I work there? I shrug again. I ain't no thief. It's 'cause I needs it. She turns around and yells at my trunk. I got money, right, Mr. Uberman? I got a job, so I got money. She's getting visually more agitated. Then she turns to Trunk Coon and says, What? No, you tell her to simmer down now. He's a nice man. And goes on this long rant about she's not a vagabond and she's got a job, so she ain't poor. But that poor people like to pretend they're not poor, switching from seat next to her to Trunk Coon. Eventually she smirks, and it's kinda off-putting because she's missing teeth. Now, do I necessarily care if someone is talking to themselves in a ride? No. I don't judge people. Life is hard. But when her imaginary friends start to sound like they want me to die? Yes, I do mind. I don't like being alive, but I'm not going to let someone else decide that. Then I'm driving and keeping to myself, and she smirks in the rear view and says in a scarily soft voice, Aren't you sleepy? Are you hungry, honey? They say you're real sleepy. Do you like boba? I'm now gripping the steering wheel and avoiding eye contact. Oh, no, I'm okay. Thank you for the offer, though. I'll pay if we stop, she says in her sing-song voice from earlier. Let's stop. Maybe you could even pull over and nap for a bit. She's baring her teeth at this point, and I'm internally screaming that I want this ride over ASAP. But $20 is $20. So we keep driving. Well, you killed her, so it is what it is, she says randomly to Trunk Coon. So, new intel. She's talking to dead people. Holy spaceballs. So I'm now even more apt not to stop. We get to a stop sign, and she stares at the headrest and leans forward. Oh, forgot to mention. All of this is happening while she's sitting directly behind me. She leans forward and sticks out one bony figure and pokes on my shoulder. How does your body feel, Mr. Uberman? Huh, you sure you don't want something to eat? I could feed you if you just pull over somewhere. So it's like the 10th time she's tried to get me to stop, and then she says, He's sleepy, ain't he? He gon' kill someone if he don't get some sleep. Someone gonna die. He got 2 choices. He choose. I ask, who is going to kill someone? She looks aware and gets an angry face. Nothing. No one. So, eventually, after being death stared at, and her imaginary ghost friends talking about robbing and or killing me, we get to her destination, and she gets out. Aw, thank you for being so patient. Make sure you don't forget to eat, she says with deliberate pauses. And then she comes around to my windows and smiles against the glass. I drive home and didn't drive for a week.